All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Business Blueprints. This week, we are on episode 34, and we have Andrew Nuhfer with AKN Interiors. So this is a cool one. I like the podcast that I don't really know the person. This is a referral from a good friend of mine, another friend in the industry. So this will be fun. We'll dive into some topics and see what we can do here. But Andrew, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So I'd like to just start a little bit just like, how did AKN Interiors just kind of come about?
So I guess long story short, I always did construction jobs in the summers, went to college, did it in the summers as kind of like, here's the thing I did that was kind of the fallback. Graduated from school, moved down here to Pittsburgh in 2013 to work with my degree. Worked at PNC Bank for 2 weeks, decided that I absolutely hated working in an office, so I just kind of went back to building.
Fell back again into construction.
Fell back into it, yeah. And then one thing led to another, and as I got promoted a little bit more, my ears started perking up when I was kind of a little bit more privy to the business side of it. Mm. And as I went along, and still to this day, I noticed that I was always the youngest one on job sites. I'm still the youngest one at my company. And, I saw an opportunity there. And so about 3 years ago now, I was working in a management position for another remodeling company down here in the South Hills. And, I just decided it was time. And, I thought I could do it better than the person that I was working for and, took the jump.
Awesome. The funny thing is, and I always kind of say this to a person and ask this question, because a lot of people that go from, this happens very typical in construction. You go from wearing a tool belt to being an owner. How was the transition? Because it's tough. It's not easy for all to just like become, okay, I'm the guy that shows up to the job. I know exactly what I need to do today. I need to hang 12 doors. I got to do some base and case, and that's it. Business owner world is not the same. It's pretty different, and a lot of guys have that real balance and a struggle to where like they love wearing the tool belt, but they hate the office side of it. So like, how does that work with you, and how did some of those transitions work?
I would say that for me, this was something, maybe the specific timing of going into business, I didn't really have a plan on, but I knew it was going to always happen. So I had been saving for a long time, and I had foregone doing some big life decisions like buying a house and getting married and things like that, to go all in and, give myself a little bit of flexibility with the business. And then luckily for me, my mom is a business owner, and one thing that she did that I did very quickly was join a industry-specific coaching program.
Very good.
That I'm still in.
Very cool. What are you in?
It's called the Contractor Fight.
Awesome. Yeah. I do win rate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I would say, and I tell this to anybody that'll listen, that's the best decision I could have ever made, because, at least for me, the less I try to outsmart all this stuff and just try to listen to somebody else and give other people the keys, the more successful we end up being. And I will say the first year and a half struggled a lot when I was in the field the most, and not because I'm not talented, because I'm a pretty skilled carpenter, but like you said, the skills aren't really the important part with this stuff. That's not what takes the time. It's the business end of it.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. So the reason why I brought that up is I was so very easily to conform to the office because I'm more of an office guy. Like, I came from a sales background. I was already kind of in an office. Prior to that, I was always out in the field. I did landscaping, odds and ends, flipping houses, all that. But my real skill was not doing the actual work. I was more of the office side of it, systems, processes, operations, financials, all that stuff. So whenever we kind of formulated Hemlock, it was, okay, I'm not leaving this office. But my other two partners were very construction-oriented guys, and they both had their kind of struggles, and so did I, because running your own thing gives you a sense of space. And when you have a sense of space, there's like, you get that verse, like there's always that ego check that needs to happen in the beginning of like, oh, I can do my own thing now. I can kind of do whatever I want. Yeah, ish, sort of. Not really. Not for a while. But, again, I always ask somebody that because primarily that's what construction is, right? They started with somebody, they learned some trades, they learned some skills, and then they said, oh, well, fuck it, I'll go for it. and we've had guys that were on our remodeling team that decided to do that and do other things. And listen, I'm still their biggest cheerleader. I root for them, dude. Like, I would never want to see you where, like, I hold you in this cage, like, you're mine. Like, no, dude, go follow your dreams. But knowingly, this is real fucking hard. Like, this is real hard.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I hope a lot of people really listen to the statement that he said about the coaching groups, because I've been in coaching groups for over 7 years now. And I will tell you that is one of the biggest factors of our growth is I don't question what people who've done this more than me do. Mm-hmm. Why? I don't need to be known as the smartest guy in the room. I just want to be in the room.
Yeah.
And hey, man, you've done this 400 times successfully? Okay, I think I'll try that. Okay. The funny part about that is we're opening up some new stuff with Hemlock as far as like content creation. So our coach has put out over 10,000 pieces of content. So we had a Zoom call with him, our production team, our staff, and was like, hey, man, give us the blueprint to how we should do this. Like, how should we clip it? What should we be wearing? What should the settings be? What should we be doing? Mm-hmm. Just tell me, dude. I'll follow right to a T.
Yep.
Because again, like, when you're paying for something too, like, you're learning you're going to the finish line way faster than dragging yourself along the way. And you're still going to have bumps in the road even when you go straight to the finish line.
Yep.
But you're going to have somebody there to be able to help you when you hit a snag. Hey, man, hit a snag. What do you think I could do? Like, there's power in that. And a lot of people get caught up on like, I can't spend that money. Well, you're going to spend it in time.
Yeah.
I assure you.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's just the way it is for me. So it seems we were talking a little bit beforehand. The company you worked for prior, were they higher end remodelers? Is that why you're kind of in that space now?
Yeah.
Cool.
So and the majority of my experience is in, multiple 6-figure kitchens, things like that. So, and that's the work I like to do. That's the work that I'm most familiar with, is projects that are really design heavy.
Yeah.
So all of our projects have interior designers involved in one way or another. We don't have any working for us yet. We have one specific company that does the majority of our work.
Cool.
But all that to be said, that's another thing that I've learned really quickly being in business and working for other people is the planning of a project is probably as or more important than the actual execution of it. And I don't think enough people really spend enough time on that part of it. And I think that's part of what gives the public some hesitation working with people like us, because there can be times where everything's really open-ended. And, I like to tell our customers usually, and I by no means say this in a bragging way, but usually if I'm standing in your house, other than buying that house, you're probably making the biggest financial decision you're going to make on this property.
Sure.
And, that with that, there's some weight behind that. And I think that there should be some time to plan it all. So that's kind of where we go with it. And
I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to imagine your sales cycle isn't as long as mine, but it's probably pretty long. There's, a design phase, there's layouts, there's cabinet mock-ups, there's 3D drawings, there's all these things. And again, the stuff that we work on, because we're trying to condense our process. So from initial call to contract, even though there's a design phase that happens in the middle that our client pays for, the final thing is contract, right? That's what matters.
Right.
So we were at like 7 months. 6 months. We're getting it down. I mean, we're down in that 90-day range now, but it took a lot of like, okay, how do we get there? What are the expectations we need to set? This, that, boom, 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 boom. Because again, what happens to people when they're making 6-figure decisions is they start to get into a tailspin.
Yep.
And when they're on a downward tailspin, it's over. You lost them. So how do you stop them from doing the downward tailspin? Well, it's educating them to make great decisions. Hey guys, we want to close this gap up. How do we do that? Hey, this needs to be done. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. I'm going to set the expectation. Hey, that's why we do a lot of like a pre-agenda email that goes out. Hey guys, electrical's coming up next. This meeting's going to be about an hour and a half long. We're going to cover this, and this. Just want to make sure you're prepared. We're going to do this on our end. If you could do these 3 things, that would be great.
Yeah.
It's just little touches. It's not that big of a thing, but when you're making decisions that we're not selling vacuums here. We're not selling yo-yos. We're selling big, heavy products. And what comes with that is, again, if these people can afford this, they can afford almost anything. So they can go with almost anybody.
Yeah.
So what differentiates you from everybody else other than the product? What I like to do is not even talk about the product. The product is the product.
I was just going to say.
Listen, how do we talk about your experience?
Yep.
Because if you read all of our reviews, it's, hey, such and such did this and such did that. And oh, this software they use is great. Da, 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 da. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
Got to listen to your clients, man. So do you primarily when you got started, just like a lot of people that got started, I did it. I know a lot of people. Did you bounce around and start doing everything, or were you real systemized on like, I know that we can do basements, bathrooms, additions, and in kitchens? Or like, cause we're like, I'll do that front porch, I'll do that siding job, I'll do this, I'll do that. And you see, now you were smart because you saved your money.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to go out and fight for every sale. You had the ability to be able to scale at your leisure because you had some money to burn, which is great. That's the real way to do it. A lot of people not disciplined enough to save their money. How old are you?
34.
Fuck, dude.
Well, I saved my money from doing side work for 4 or 5 years.
For sure.
But as far as from the beginning, I mean, basically within the first 2 months of me going on my own, I cashed in my 401k and handed it to a website company so that we had an online presence that showed that we only did kitchens and baths and basements like that. So did we do other random stuff? Sure. Yeah, but
because people will call you for other shit, but you need to be linearly, positioned correctly.
Right. Yeah. And like if we have customers we worked for before, if they like want a deck build or something, we'll probably do it if we have time, but that's not what I'm trying to have new people call us for.
Totally.
And that's not what we know what we're good at and we know what we're not good at. And luckily now, I mean, if it's something we're not good at, I'm happy to just be like, here's someone I know. You could call them.
Yeah, that's how I am. Yeah. Hey man, I don't do additions or any of this here. Call that guy.
Yeah.
I don't do, front porches too much anymore. Here do that.
Yeah.
So do you guys, your operation, is it all in-house guys that you use, or is it kind of a mix of 1099s or subs? Or are you a general, or how does your...
I'd say we're pretty hybrid in the sense that I got 4 field guys now. That fluctuates 4 to 6 this year.
Yeah.
This year, we're really trying to make a pivot towards not taking on any big piece of any job. So we're trying to sub out as much as we can to the people that's what they do. Yeah. Like our tile work, we have a couple guys that's all they do is tile. So we hand that off to them. Same with pretty much everything. And what we're finding with that is it cuts the time that we can produce projects down some. And it's also... It's hard to take on projects like, for instance, a kitchen renovation that's touching the whole first floor, and having guys on the team that are skilled enough to produce a quality product at a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I was going to say the in-house guys at the performance you're trying to look for is very tough.
It's very difficult. I have 3 really skilled carpenters that work for me now. And I'm not even talking
about from a money standpoint, because you could pay them. It's just finding the actual human.
Yes, because most either A, they're working for themselves, or B, there's something.
Yes.
So that's the road we're trying to travel down. Just have my guys keep the wheels turning, keep the like you said, the experience good.
Yeah.
And just leave the rest up to the guys that's all they do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always, I look at it a little different from a guy that swings a hammer too, just because I always say that preparation in understanding the product that you're going to put out and the job you're going to do is more important than the actual job. Because here's the reality. Shit is going to fucking happen on a job site. That is no matter what. But when we understand that, for us, we understand the utility situation. We do test pits. We understand the dirt. We do all these different things on the upfront that the other companies don't really want to do because there's liability and risk in it. I had a client we're building for in Bethel Park, and we did test pits, and we went and dug his foundation, and we hit a spring on the back corner. How am I supposed to charge him? Yeah. I can't, because he paid for the test pits. He paid for this. Now, all that rain kind of fucked us a little bit too. Didn't make it any better, but I had to eat $26,000. I can't go back and charge you, dude. You did all the right steps.
Right.
Or
even if you did, that 26 grand you got then is
it's just going to create a lot of problems in the end, you know, and it's just not worth it. And it's like, you know what, we don't even talk about it. We move on from it. Client doesn't even know it happened, yada, 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 move on. You have to make those decisions, and those are longer term decisions because, again, when a lot of people are like $26,000, I'm like, yeah, but it's $1.3 million project.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, stop. Just stop. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to get the homeowner fired up on draw one. Like, no, we're not doing that game. And for one, he did. He paid for the test bits. We went out and did them. We did this. Like, you listen, he fulfilled his obligation to us. It's our time to fulfill our obligation to them. Stop this. We all need to not look at this as just a money game here. Like, it's a relationship game, and that's what's really, really important. Because, again, just like you know, you don't get inside the circle of the people that can afford those projects by burning the people inside that circle. That will not happen. Because again, they're always going to showcase and love to talk about the product that they got. But again, like it is said, it's how did they respond to problems? How did they respond to warranties? How did they respond to after the job? How did they respond to things during the job that popped up? That gets talked about just as much.
Probably more.
Yeah. And I think, again, a lot of people undervalue that because they're just like, well, I mean, these prices are crazy. I can go in and do it. Like, okay, but you're not going to deliver the experience because you can't. There's not enough margin there. You know, so I think for a lot of people, you know, it becomes just a money grab and they look at construction as like something, well, I could beat those prices by half. Well, sure. I thought that too when I was looking at like when I flipped houses and the prices of those. I'm like, that's not what you deliver your end client though, because when you're flipping a house, there's no experience for them.
Yep.
It's just a gray walled house with white cabinets. You know, like there's a few of them out there that do some different stuff. You know, Al and Pittsburgh Property Remodelers, Alex and them, they deck some shit out, but mostly it's all just rinse and repeat model. You know, and that's why I got out of it. I was like, this is not fun.
Yep. It's got to last to the close.
Yeah, it's just not fun. You know, and I'm like, this is just the same thing over and over. This is like Ryan Homes. Like, this is the same Tudor siding. It's the same shit over and over and over and over. So, you know, that was the difficult thing, you know, for us. And even when we did remodeling projects, we were the same way. I did a lot of kitchens. I did a lot of first floor remodels. We did a lot of basements. You know, we'd mix in some bathrooms, you know, just for some cash flow, quicker 3-4 week projects, stuff like that. But, you know, for us, it was just getting very, you know, understanding that like, hey, you need to know and define what exact projects you want, the client you want. You know, like that's just the reality to it. And, you know, as you started getting into that higher level of clientele, I mean, because we probably did 150 plus projects in Peters. I mean, for years we lived over there and just, you know, and they treated us well and we built a good brand. And again, it was, you had to deliver. You know, because they all talk, they all know each other, they all go to the same moms groups, they all have the same stuff on Facebook, They all have this, they all, you know, chit-chatting, and you had to execute. And, you know, a reality of every construction project is something's going to happen. How is it handled?
Yep.
That's what they're going to talk about, you know. So is that basically how you find a lot of your stuff is all referral based? Or are you finding a lot of your paid ads are working as well inside that circle? Because that's a niche thing, just like mine. I mean, mine's niche.
I would say probably for this year, it's been about 50-50.
That's good.
But it's turning more referral based, which hurts my soul in the sense that I invest a fair bit of money into advertising.
Totally.
But then again, I think it especially in today's day and age, I think that the two kind of play on each other, like the content you have and your website and things like that. Maybe you got a referral, but that just because that someone gave your number out doesn't mean that they're not going to do homework on you and call you based on the things that they see. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling really lucky about that. Actually, we had a company meeting today, and that's the one thing I just wanted to bring up to my guys. Like, you know, in the past month, guys, 90% of our leads have come from referrals. Very cool. And that is a testament to you.
Very cool.
Especially this time of year when kids are home, people aren't always thinking, hey, I really want to do projects. So the phone even ringing, you know, is a blessing in itself. And the majority of that being from people that we've done work for. And to your point, I mean, these are people we've done projects for that I guarantee we were probably one of the most expensive options they could have went with. But, you know, we did a good job and did what we said we were going to do and treated them with respect, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, totally. Do you dive into that at all? Like
With
asking
people?
the customer why they went with you, even though you're the most expensive?
We have before, and typically one of the things we get from people is that we help them make decisions in the beginning, and we really don't try to speed them along as much as I want to. Luckily, we have enough in the hopper at all times as of now that I don't really need to twist anybody's arm.
Yep.
I just tell them, look, this can take 2 months. This can take 6 if you want. And then I don't know. I think that must be part of it. I think that I make a pretty solid effort as to be able to be found.
Yeah.
So that also plays to it too.
Yeah, you know, we have a few like main competitors, and I don't even want to say they're competitors. They're just other companies, you know. They're more national than we are, but they also have a different process than we are. They don't do the land prep that we do. They give you a flat rate excavation number. Whatever happens is on you and the excavator. They don't do your landscaping. They don't do your driveways. They don't do any of that shit. Like, I do a full turnkey package. I do all your permitting. First off, the people that don't know how to fucking do permitting, you'll understand how goddamn hard it is. And then you got to get hops and stormwater
Especially
management
building
plans,
houses, that's a
and
completely different
I have a
game.
whole department
Yeah.
for it. You
Yeah.
know, my dad retired, thank God. Not thank God, but he now does all of our permitting. And like, he was a business owner, so like, I don't even have to track him. He's just like, you know. And he came from landscaping and he just loves it being inside now. But you have a whole person that handles that every single day because it is so fucking diligent. And like going through Bethel Park, and they have their own third-party engineering, and we're trying to, you know, the stormwater plan that we turned in was 115 pages, and you know they want their they sent the plan back because the B on the street name wasn't capitalized. And like it's so much more than people think.
Yep.
And then when a permit is in a customer's name, they're holding the liability, not the company. Like, I can just bounce.
Yep.
Permit's on you, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
people
care about a
understand-
final.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna start digging, because we just had our first client actually say it. They're like, "You were the most expensive one." I was like, "Really? Well, let's talk about that."
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about apples to apples. You know, they decided to go into the design phase with us and start designing their house. And I love the fact, and I think too, the one big key that we have that I think you'll absolutely benefit from when you'll do it as an in-house draftsman.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's it's.
Dude.
I'm honestly,
Change
yeah.
the fucking trajectory of
Yeah.
this fucking company, bro. Because
Yeah.
first one we had, so-so. Second one, so-so. Third one, a little better.
Yeah.
In-house, fucking fire, dude. Because you're getting real results in real time. So like, the way I envisioned it was like, he was like Jamie from Joe Rogan, like in the background creating shit. Like, and that's what happens, dude. It just organically went that way. I was like, you know what? Let me just not fuck with this, and let me see how this organically happens. So I sat in some of the meetings, and the client's like, yeah, we were thinking about maybe moving this and this. And I just started watching, and he was just like, and then all of a sudden he would share a screen to our vibe board, and it would be there. Boom. Decisions made. Boom. Decisions made. Boom. Decisions made. Boom. Decisions made. You know, like, I get why a lot of companies, again, want to not go your route, because it's very time consuming, and they don't love that organizational side. They don't then they don't have the staff.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. Same with us. Everybody calls themselves a custom builder. They're fucking not. They're not, dude. They're a semi-custom builder with stock plans with like 5 options.
Yeah.
Like Infinity Homes has like 7 plans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's it, dude. Perry, Schumacher, all the rest, they're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
Like, scaling full custom, very difficult, dude. Very, very difficult. And we ran into the challenges of those, you know? So what I've learned is when you sell a product for the amount of money that we do and the amount of money that we charge, you have to educate the client to make a decision. So just like I always looked at like NVR, and I'm like, okay, you have this on robotics, but how do I bring this to my world? So same stuff. We built a whole entire tracker that our selections coordinator uses, that we load in the quantifications of the person's drawing prior to their selections meeting, and it's a pull tab now. okay, you have 110 square feet of tile. Well, here's our tile price from tier 1 to tier 3. Here's our tile price from tier 1 to tier 4. Here's our cabinetry prices are custom because we offer 4 different lines.
Yeah.
So we're a distributor through like Schrock, Diamond, Fabi Wood, some other stuff, like semi-custom up to full custom.
Right.
And, but other than that, most standard features, I can give you a price on the spot that you're not leaving here not knowing your price. Like, that's how you make real decisions. You have to equip people with the tools to make them. So, like, that's been our biggest thing is like, okay, how do we stop getting them to go up the ladder of the design phase and then go back down after they realize they can't afford it? I got to create tools that tells them, like, hey, this is where you're at now. And we give them pricing every single step of the way, dude. And here's the reality. You're going to lose some people that go and fuck you and give their shit to other companies, and they're just going to do that. But like, I believe transparency and authenticity, which is one of our core values, is absolutely, listen, it's going to pay off in the long run for us. Because if I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to build a custom house, I want to know the price.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Yeah.
So we have our standard pricing, and then we update you on every inclusion after every meeting. Boom, boom, boom. But here's where you are. Here's where you are. Are you okay with that? If not, we'll go back to, hey, we can move that around to your secondary option. Again, like, you just have to equip people with the tools to make the decisions, because if not, you're going to go on this emotional roller coaster with them. They're going to see the point of where they love their project, but they can't afford it. What that does is there goes your project.
Yeah.
And they're not going to sign because they know they can't afford exactly what they want now.
Yep.
You painted the wrong picture.
And that's happened to me a number of times. Luckily, I've worked some kinks out, but yeah.
Yeah, which is great, right? That's how you do it. You have to lose some jobs and figure out why to fucking iron out some processes and some systems and say, hey, okay, cool. It happened. Can't change it. Let's not cry about it. I give myself 24 hours. Like, if I've lost some big deals, dude, like $1.5 million, $1.2 million, $1.4 million this year. And like, I give myself 24 hours to have a good fucking cry session with myself.
I just lost a $1.1 million renovation just for this, literally the exact same thing.
Yeah.
When we started, I was like, you're probably looking 600-700, and then
set the wrong
shiny
fucking
ball.
Yeah.
And then it's a couple bucks. It's a couple bucks. Next thing you know,
it's a couple bucks 100 fucking times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's what people don't get when you're doing construction too. They're like, oh, it's just a couple bucks. Yeah, a couple bucks 50 fucking times is 50 grand.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean,
Exactly.
guys? Like, it's not this is construction. $2,000 gets you nowhere nowadays. Like, everything's like $3,000 and above.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. Like, I'll give myself, like I said, our sales guys are the same way. I say, hey man, we have 24 hours. We cry about this for 24 hours. I don't want to hear about this after this. I don't want to fucking hear another word. Because we were hoping for a growth year too. Like, we were hoping to add $5 million to our revenue this year, and we probably would have, but we had 3-4 deals like that fall apart this year, and you're just like, okay. All right. What happened? That's all you can. That's all you can do as a business owner who's legitimately going to grow.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Right.
There's fault on our end. It's not just, you can't just be like, oh, fucking client picked all this shit. No, we allowed them.
Yeah.
We didn't give them the restraints they needed.
And if you're getting that upset, you're living on Hope Island.
Totally.
And that's
you're going to lose jobs.
Yeah.
Totally, dude. And that's what we track too is like, okay, how many contracts from design to contract do we actually get? How many fall out? And why do they fall out? So, that's a big KPI for us is like when we go through the design phase, why are they falling out? Was it a hemlock problem or was it just, oh shit, dude, we've had situational stuff like when Dick's had all them layoffs. Dude was like a giant up for Dick's, lost his job.
Yeah.
I get it, man. We had a couple people this year get terminally ill. You don't think about that shit?
Yeah.
We had countless other things, and again, you have to look at and I just had this with our team on Thursday at our team meeting. I'm like, guys, we have a pretty tough round of clients coming up. Like, we got some pretty tough people. They're going to expose us. I don't want anybody to get upset. This is going to be the biggest learning lesson this company has gotten yet, because we're going to have it in scale. We're going to have like 8 pretty tough people that are going to come our way. that's fine. Listen. We've had a round of last 4 rounds have been amazing, and you got to take what they are with what they are, dude. I mean, I don't mean they're bad people. I just mean they're very detail-oriented people. Mm-hmm. You know exactly how they are. Like, one of them sent out a mass email to lenders asking them 13 questions. Like, when you're, like, recruiting lenders, you already know how it's going to be in construction,
Yeah.
So, again, not bad people, just, hey, this is going to test us. Mm-hmm. This is going to test our management. This is going to test our process. This is going to test our selections. This is going to test every software that we run. You have to listen to your client. That's who pays the bills. Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? This is going to be what it is, man. So do you have an office staff that kind of handles a lot of your back end, or is that something you're going to be adding to as the
We're getting to that point. So I have one project manager now, and then lucky enough was able to have who was actually my boss at my last company come on and work with us, and now he's kind of our director of operations.
That's cool.
And I've been just trying to add pieces as we have grown in sales and things like that. Yeah. I mean, we just turned the corner on year 3.
Yeah.
So it's definitely grown a little faster than I expected.
Well, if you're talking 1-1 numbers at year 3, you're doing something. That's a big fucking number for a renovation, dude.
Yeah.
To even be considered is what I'm saying.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we, that was by far the biggest job we have had the at bat for.
No doubt.
But,
got it or not, you're still at the fucking plate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think we would have knocked it out of the park too. Sure. And we will eventually do on that size. Sure. It just has to be the right situation. Office staff is coming. I signed a lease for a warehouse at the end of last year. And I was like, 2,000 square feet, that's going to be plenty. Well, we already outgrew it.
I did the same thing.
So right now I'm saving up cash. I was actually going to buy myself a house in the spring, but likely what I'm going to end up doing is buying us an office building somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah. No, it's a game changer.
That's kind of where we're going. I don't have any place to put any more office people right now. That's the problem.
Neither do I.
So I don't know. I tried virtual assistant route a little bit here and there.
Dog shit.
I don't know. It was too much hand holding. I was like, you know what? I'm at a point now where like
you and me and everyone I fucking talk to that listen, the VA route for construction is shit.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah.
Because again, you need somebody to just watch what they do.
Yeah.
This isn't helping me.
Right. And to your point about bringing some in-house drafting, design, things like that.
Your life.
The teams I work with now that don't work for us, they're getting at their capacity. So
sure.
I've been having to really try to spread my wings and find other people. Yeah. And like I said, I'm just trying to get to a point where we're at a sales number where I can start actually taking on that stuff. And we're there now.
And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. What volume are you at in sales?
We'll do between 3 and 3.5 this year.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, we did.
So and I'm going to tell you that because most remodeling companies get stuck at the 2.5 million.
Yeah, definitely.
Real stuck.
Yeah.
So to get over that hump, that's production.
Yeah.
In the interior, in the remodeling space.
Yeah.
That's a big company.
Yeah.
Bigger. We did, our biggest year was last year before we shut it down, and we did 1.79. And that was mostly just kitchens and baths. And we weren't doing barely any 6-figure shit, like kitchens and reno wise. Average project on a kitchen, probably 85. Bathrooms, 35, basements, 140, 150, range. Again, but it was, if you're over that crest, you're totally ready, dude. So before I even hit the 3 million mark, I had selections coordinator, administrator, office manager, all that shit prior to even hitting that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the office staff will change your fucking world.
Yeah.
So dude, I have 3 girls that work in my office with me and have been for a long time. One of them's my executive assistant. One of them's are going to be COO, and one of them's our selections coordinator. And the COO and the selections coordinator have been with us for 6 years. Mm-hmm. Dude, and the younger one, Taylor, who's 22 or just turned 23, I think today, but dude, she's a fucking beast. It's that realm will change your life, dude. It will change. You will go to a $5 million company.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For fucking sure. Like and I started poking around what you guys do in the last week or so, checking out your stuff and yada yada. And you guys do great fucking work. Great work. And there's a big void in the remodeling sector because there's just not enough of you guys. There's a lot of projection that people do that. There's not. Do you guys do a lot of work like Mount Lebanon and shit like that?
Yeah. I not as much as I'd like to.
Because like my homie Penrod and them do a lot of stuff out in Mount Lebanon. They do Virginia Manor editions and shit. They've been doing that since the 80s.
Yeah.
And like they do great shit, man. You know, same with you guys. It's all the same skill sets, all the same stuff. I mean, they've had that area, you know, kind of nailed down for a long, long time. And, you know, there's only a few niche of you guys. And the same in the edition world. There is a fucking massive opening in the edition world, dude. Like if you can do them, the problem with them is you need a sales process that flushes out the fucking just the window shoppers, because people don't understand they're like 400 square foot and above. Like people just don't have the even remote idea. So like, you know,
or that $100,000 isn't happening.
$100,000 gets you fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
$100,000 is going to get you like to structurals.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you aren't even going to be dried in.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So that's been the big thing. That's why we never really dove into the edition world, because I didn't have the capacity to focus on scaling the custom home side, doing the remodeling, and then trying to figure out how to do additions.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll say that one thing I've put a lot of time into is getting our software optimized. And a lot of what we do is, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't need office staff, but there's so much that's just templates and software now that I don't.
But who handles all your accounting?
I have a fractional CFO that does all of our stuff.
That's good.
So that's something I did.
That's good.
Honestly, to your point of the thing that you can't afford, everything that that was calculated that I've done that I couldn't afford, quote unquote, at the time has paid serious dividends.
20x.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, dude. So my thing is my first office was that door right there, that little cubby hole. So like we flirted around with a design studio. I was like, I have to have a design studio. So we ended up fucking around in there, and then I moved to across the street to where that putting place is, or the driving place is, right across the street from here. Right next to Martin's Auto Gallery. That was my second office. So I painted that green, I painted it black, I painted it white. That was our second office. So we had a whole wall on that right side, showroom there. And then we started, again, like things started picking up. COVID happened, and like interest rates were crazy, so shit was going bananas. We didn't make a fucking dollar, but we built brand.
Yeah.
So then when we moved to Peters, again, I was like, all right, cool, 2,200 square feet. This is going to fucking be perfect for us. Blew that thing out, and now we're in.
You're down in Washington, right?
Yeah, we bought the model home. Yeah,
okay.
So we bought Kay Hovanian's model home, redid the whole outside, redid the whole inside, redid the whole design studio. Dude, a guy of your caliber and the company that you're going into, you need a design studio.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. You're going to fucking destroy the game.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to stop them going on this roller coaster.
Yeah.
You're just going to, because you have more control.
Yeah.
Because the reason is like, okay, you send your customers to ProSource or any countertop company or this or that, they're not going to keep your client budget. Yep. Because in clients got that shiny, just like you said, shiny ball syndrome. What's up with that $32 square foot hardwood? That's not in your budget. Well, why? Well, because we're trying to keep you in your budget. That's why. And there's 2,000 square feet on your floor. If you want to spend $75,000 on hardwood floor, I don't think we have the budget for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just going to stop that from happening. And dude, so like, again, then you can get into like some of the stuff that we do where you're a distributor, you get some kickback and all the other stuff. You know what I mean? You start getting into that kind of world. You guys do plenty of the volume.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's just, you need the location to be able to do a lot of that stuff.
No doubt. Yeah, it was, and again, I was hesitant on that because our office was $1 million, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And we were like just coming out of COVID on some stuff, and like we saved our money too. Dude, we're frugal, dude. Like we keep a lot in the operating account, and like just in case bad shit happens. Like we don't run on paper thin margins. You know, like we always keep putting back in the business. So it's like for us, like. Okay, what was the growth expansion? I'm fucking out of office people in that. Yeah. Like, I mean, we have 13 people and 4 of them are out in the field. Most of them are in the office. So like, yeah, dude, it's that that will help the prep so much too, but also it becomes a departmental problem. That's the things we're ironing out, is the communication and pass off between PM to CAD to selections to purchasing back over to like who needs to write change orders and stuff like that, or specialty items that need priced, or all these things. Like that's what we're trying to iron out now, is just the flow inside the company. Because again, when you have multiple people and you have, 10 different departments now, you're like, hey guys, everyone loves to talk shit and make fun of each other, but how, why didn't you ask him about what happened?
Yeah.
You didn't relay all the information to that person about what they needed to do. Why?
How do you centralize all that information now?
Well, so Builder Trend's our big one, and then Dropbox, and then we use Asana for all task-oriented shit. So Asana's the big one for like task-oriented completion. I have Asana broken out inside each department with team tasks and things of that nature. Builder Trends were just like most of our stuff stored, and then Dropbox is for like all your miscellaneous bullshit. But we've been using. I'm a big proponent, and we use Go High Level for CRM and stuff like that. So we fully build out. But I'm a big proponent. Like you've probably seen it too in these construction groups. Everyone likes to bounce around to like these softwares like they're all fucking different. They're not.
They're not. I use another one. It's called Job Trend.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, there's either Jobber or fucking Builder Trend.
Yeah,
that's it, man.
Yeah.
Like, all the rest of them.
I've used Builder Trend. It is exactly the same as what.
I just want to get to one and stick with one.
Yeah.
Because 5 years now using it, ours is pretty dialed the fuck in.
Yeah.
But like it took us a while because the reason why I went with Builder Trend over Jobber is there's a big selections portal for Builder Trend.
Yeah.
That we upload all of our shit into. So when we create construction templates. So when we dry in a house, we put all of our documentation on the sliding doors, all of it, tile layouts, floor layouts, all the selections, where they're going, where this, where that. We put them in the bathrooms too. We do this, we do that. Builder Trend's a little more heavy on the selection side.
Yeah.
So that's why we went with it, just because I always knew we were going to have a design studio. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense for us. And I was like, guys, I mean, I get it. Like it's $1,000 a month, but like, what are you going to do?
That $1,000 is a lot less than paying someone to do all that.
No doubt, man. And that's the way we looked at it the whole time. And I was like, okay, so let's just get in here and work in it. Let's get in here and dive into this and like really dial it in. And again, we're now finally getting to the point, even 6 years later, like we're really using it to a higher level of, we created a purchasing department beginning of this year where we send all of our POs out of it. We send bid selections out of it. We send all of our stuff out of it that way and bring info back internally through the system, which we were not operating correctly out of for a long time. So it's just more the tweaks of that nature now. Just because again, like we have some stock standard plans that we've created just because we have a draftsman, but like the way I've always looked at it is like people know us for full custom. I'm not rebranding. I'm not going through the fucking pain and agony of becoming a semi-custom home builder. I have 8 plans. If you want to choose from one of them, great. If you don't, let's go down the full custom route. And that's just been big thing for us and little tweaks. But like I said on your end, dude, whenever you turn that corner and really get those pieces into play, like, dude, you're gonna crush it. Crush it. Like really crush it, dude.
Yeah.
Because like I can't even put into the words the confidence of what even people, we were talking about that in our Monday sales meeting today, like 90% of the people that call in that finally take action are like, hey man, we drove past your building.
Yeah.
Because we painted a billboard on the side of it now.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done a lot of projects near where your old office was in Peters.
Yeah.
Driven past
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like, it's, again, a brand credibility builder.
Yeah.
Every time you see it. And then again, when you're doing your online SEO, Google ads, and all this stuff that you have going on, it's just that layer of layer.
Yep. And
we were talking about to what you were saying earlier is, we have a questionnaire that we send out to our clients that we want back prior to meeting you. Because again, what that allows us to do is to start to put your puzzle together. Start to piece your puzzle together. Okay. I know that, all right, you want 2,400 square foot, you want a 2-story great room, you want a 2-story foyer. Okay, what do we got that we've done that's close to that? Because what are we really looking for? We're looking for a house that's probably 60 to 75% of what you want.
Yep.
And then we tweak it to 25 to 40%. That's what makes it custom to you.
Yep.
all ranches are built the same, man. Living space in the middle, bedrooms on the sides. So like, let's find one close, and then we'll tweak the exterior. We can tweak colors. I can do all that fun shit for you, and that's that. But like that questionnaire is getting us to piece together, like, how are we trying to put together our presentation to you? You know, and it has a set on there. Hey, how'd you hear about us? TikTok, Instagram, Meta, you know, this, that, did it, Google, blah, blah, blah. But what do they usually tell you? Just the top ahead. Oh, where did I see them? Oh, Google. Then I say, hey, sales guys, you have to say, hey, is there anywhere else you heard about us from? Because I want to understand the whole funnel. Like, what led you to the call to action? Did you have to hear about us 5 times? Did you hear about us 5 times, then drive by our office? Like, what was the touch points to that? You know, like, that's what I want to know. What was the top of funnel, and then how do we get you to the bottom? You know, because again, we spend some considerable money as well. Yeah. You know, and I want to know what's going on. You know, and I want to make sure that, you know, everything is up and up. You know, and that's the hard part of whenever you're trying to track your KPIs in marketing, because they might just say, "Oh, I see you on Facebook," but like, you never went to Google, really?
Yeah,
really. Come on.
They say it takes 7 usually. Yeah, 7 touch points.
Like, you went to Google at least once, didn't you? You know, but it's, again, I think a lot of people just don't have an agenda set for their meetings. Like, I'm a big agenda person for our meetings. Like, I even send an agenda to my coach whenever, like, for our meeting. Here's what I want to cover day before. We have a 45-minute Zoom call tomorrow. Hey, man, I want to cover this, and this. Like, that's how you maximize your meetings. It's how you maximize your time. You know, when we have team meetings, we do once a month. The beginning of the month is all KPIs for each department. Hey, bring your KPIs, bring your presentation. This is the 2-hour-long team meeting. Rest of our meetings are an hour. And usually we have an agenda set for everyone. Because if not, what are you going to do when you don't have an agenda for a meeting? You start babbling. Start talking about bullshit. Like, I don't need to sit here for a fucking hour. I can figure out some other shit to do. You know, I want to actually move the needle on what we kind of have going on. Is that what you kind of do as far as, like, with your vision and your trajectory to the company? How does your marketing look? Are you targeting just those types of areas? Are you targeting like income based? Are you targeting? I mean, obviously, you're probably pretty dialed in on your SEO because you said you spend a lot of money on your website, just like ours. Yeah. I'm sure you do Google ads. Yeah. So you're probably pretty dialed in on them now. You've probably been using the same guy for a couple years, which is good. So how are your Google ads running? Because everyone has a feeling like, Google ads don't work anymore. I call bullshit.
I think they work well, but you have to play by Google's rules that change all the time.
All the time.
And you can't be afraid to test some things out and blow some money to see what happens. But with that to be said, you should keep track of it, though. Not just be like, well, I'll throw $5,000 at it, see what happens. Like, you know, try some things out. But I would say on Google, we target zip codes.
Because we're the same way. The reason why I ask is you're looking for a high income earner. Yeah. Like, that's the real reality. You know, let's not sugarcoat what we offer here. We both offer pretty high end products. Yeah. You know, so again, that's what, you know, I was looking for is like, you know, are you guys target just certain zip codes in South Hills of Pittsburgh, or do you guys go north? Do you guys go what is your range, I guess?
We'll work down here in the south. We'll go north as far as Wexford. Yeah. We'll go west, and then I won't go past the Squirrel Hill Tunnel.
Amen.
So we'll go into this. It seems like everything we get now is in the city. I know I don't love it, but it's one of those things.
Everyone's willing to pay.
Yeah. And we're getting some really nice at-bats in the city. But I will say, for at least in my space, I know who my competition is with remodeling and who I'm against, and it's a money thing. And I just have to keep putting more and more into it. Yep. But we're getting some traction as far as that. And then on social media, I don't run any ads on social media because that's not a place call to action. I've been told by people that know a lot more than me that most buying decisions are done on Google. Yeah. 85 to 90%.
I look at Meta as brand. Yeah. Yeah, it's branding. That's all it is.
It's more touch points.
It's just eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's eyes.
But to your point before, I mean, that's where people they're going to see you a couple times. Yeah. And then next thing you know, when they're actually serious about it, then if they go on Google and then they see, okay, well, you're in the top 3 map pack right there. Yeah. Well, I've already seen these guys before.
Yep.
So
see them all over social.
Yeah.
Seeing this.
Let's pull up their website. And then, I'm under the school of thought where I try to give people as much information as I can on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can generally put in some, parameters of what you have at your house now and kind of somewhat figure out a ballpark cost of what your project might even cost.
That's cool.
Just on our website.
That's
and
cool.
We're constantly tweaking that just in the sense that keeps people more engaged, and we're kind of answering some of the questions that they would have before they even want to talk on the phone with us.
Yeah.
Because in today's day and world, like, I don't think that most people want to sit and talk to salesmen all the time. I think they want to have most of their questions already answered before they even pick the phone up.
And they're just tired of the same spiel.
That's
like,
it.
they don't want to be sold.
Yeah.
We're not a company that's really meant for everybody. You're going to feel that vibe when you walk into our office. Like, we're very open, we're very loud, we're very boisterous, we're very, hey, down to earth. Like, I wear fucking shirts with shit all over me. I don't give a fuck. Like, you're going to hear the word fuck a lot. That's just kind of how we operate. And, hey, we listen to you. We work for you. You're not going to get a sales pitch out of us.
Yeah.
I don't really care whether you do it or you don't. I mean, I would love to work with you, but like, hey, are we a good fit for you? I want you to make that decision.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's how we've wound up with a ton of great clients. I mean, we built over 80 houses, and I can count on one hand and not even use all the fingers of people who I would never talk to again.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, even with our remodeling stuff, like, dude, we built some great relationships, and that have furthered into the new construction side. And, we offer big referrals to our people. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll write you a $5,000 check.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, hey, thank you. You didn't have to put your name out there for me.
Right.
And 'cause this day and age, I don't refer nobody to much, like, if I can't really control the scenario in that regard. But so where are you guys based? Like, where's your home camp?
In Bethel Park.
Bethel Park? That's cool. So, I mean, that route it's a unique facet because Bethel's one of them places where, like, we never got a ton of remodeling work there. Like, never, and it was one of them. Me too. I lived in South Park for, and we never got anything really there either. Maybe 1-2 projects.
Yeah.
But it was always in just certain little pockets and certain little bit of this. And so when you're down in the city, are you working on the older houses? Like, you're in the Lawrencevilles, the Highland Parks, the
the Shady
Sides.
Yeah. Well, we just got lucky. We just started a project that luckily it's on a random street in Point Breeze that was built in like the 70s. That almost never happens.
Never.
So it's always old houses.
1900s.
Yeah.
They're tough, dude.
They are.
They're tough because you could remodel them till the end of time.
Yeah.
And never stop.
Yeah.
So is that hard setting an expectation with that client of like, this is still 110 years old?
It is to a point. I mean, we try to do due diligence up front, and as time goes on, I'm going to steer more and more away from working in the city unless it's like a very, very specific situation. I just got
sucked back in. Fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We built 4 townhouses during COVID on top of Arch in the north side and right up above Randy Land, and I fucking lost my ass. We lost our ass, and I said, fuck the city. First off, the permitting's ridiculous. All of it's bullshit. And then we had a wonderful client just pick up a lot in Green Tree, and I was like, oh, fuck. So here we are. I didn't even have a city license. I had to renew it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I've been renewing it the last like couple weeks, and yeah, just reminds me how much I hate it.
Have fun in the lead class. It's like
we already did that, thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, dude, like I just even going back for the license, and then like, our accountant was like, remember, you got to break out your hours specifically so payroll can run different payroll tax for the city of Pittsburgh, and I'm like,
you're better than me. This year, I'm like, come and get it.
Yeah, no doubt. That's all we were for the longest time. I'm like, dude, I'm not breaking all this out.
Yeah.
Like, what, I got to keep a ledger for one project manager that goes and builds one house in Green Tree? Because we don't, honestly, I turned down all the builds in the city. I turned down them all. I don't really have.
They don't have their stuff together. I mean, it's just.
Dude, I poured a footer and they're like, we'll come and inspect it in a week. I'm like, dude, week? I got walls coming tomorrow, dude. Like, what do you mean a week?
Yeah.
You can come here today.
Yeah. There's a giant hole in this backyard.
Yeah,
like, what are we supposed to do here?
Water, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, I can't have that. So, we got sucked back in. But again, it was one of those experiences too, like where I talked about, I'm like, oh, we could build 4 townhouses. We built them, no problem. We just got crushed on every escalation that happened during COVID. And the developer boned us on so much stuff. And, that was the game. I didn't know any better. Yeah. So, I mean, that was, again, we'll take risks. And it was, we were hoping for a more longer term relationship with that person. And then we realized the city's just, I'm good. In the suburbs, I can move a lot faster. I can do things a lot better. I can schedule, I'll tell you what, though, man, it gets hard in the rural areas, too. Like Claysville, we build in.
Because it's all third party?
Not even that. Their fucking inspectors are only in there 1 day a week.
That, too, yeah.
Hey, we're only open on Thursday between 8 and 1. I'm like, okay, well, what about, we're going to do 12 inspections today. That's where we're at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what have been some of the big challenges that to get from 0 to 3 million as fast as you've done? What would you say some of the big hurdles have really been? Because that's a big number, dude, for this amount of time in business. I mean,
I would say the biggest one was probably selling work for like actually making money.
Yeah.
Like profitable amounts of money.
Yeah.
Like we did like almost $1.5 million last year and didn't make any money.
Oh yeah.
Spun my wheels.
For sure. So what changed from last year to this year? That's interesting. So you doubled in growth, which is fucking sweet. But what was the big change from last year to this year to not only just hit margin, but also scale at the same path? Because that's hard.
I would say, so I was in like a lower tier of coaching up until about end of September of last year. And then because we were up above $1 million, I was able to get into another tier above. That's cool. Cost a lot more, but it was a lot smaller of a group. Yeah. And I would say it's mainly that coach that I had for that group that I'm in right now. It's really just helped me change my mindset. And I think just banging my head off the wall for a year and just seeing like, looking at what we did, and I'm like, I had like nothing to show for it.
100%. It's up to a bunch of education.
That, and then starting to work with the fractional CFO because I just one day ripped the Band-Aid off because I was afraid to even know. Like I had some clue.
To know your numbers.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I need to know. Yeah. It doesn't matter if we're losing money. I just need a starting point.
Yeah.
And then once we had a starting point, then I was able to start building data and actually start looking at everything in our software. And that helped a lot. And then getting myself off of managing projects, that was huge. And then just not being on site day to day. I mean, that's been not necessarily a hurdle, but that's kind of what's helped me move into the next thing.
Yeah, getting into that CEO role stuff, fully.
Yeah.
Because I'm still like in like small limbo of like director of sales and marketing. And like that's my next seat. I'm totally out. Like I'm fully in the CEO role after that. But like I just don't have the time anymore. And, I had that meeting with our team on Thursday too, guys. I'm like, guys, we really need to instill like true leadership team here because like I can't bounce around all your roles. I'm sorry. Like I wish I could, but like we're talking about different market expansion now, like going to Morgantown, Wheeling, and Deep Creek. Like I need to really focus a lot of my energy on some of this stuff. And then I really need to figure out on plugging the holes in our just systems and processes we have since like the departments have grown so much. Like I can't I can't reactionally fix all your stuff. Like I have to just like slowly plug the holes as we go. But like I can't sit in sales every day and manage, we're getting between 40 and 50 some leads a month. And like, I can't help you guys with that on a day-to-day basis, and I've sat in sales for forever. So like, I love it, but like, I don't love it anymore because I'm like, okay, I'm not the right person for this role. And again, same to your credit, our accountant kind of acts as our fractional CFO, where like, now that they've been working, and again, I'm a long-term relationship person, so they've been with us 4 years now. So like now we have running comparisons of the last 4 years. Our monthly trajectory numbers are, spot the fuck on, and again, now we're looking, at what numbers, what metrics are you looking at? Are you looking at your EBITDA growth? Are you looking at your efficiency? Are you looking at just top line revenue? Like, there's a lot of people in business that don't know exactly what numbers they should be looking for. So for me, it changes, right? So I always want to look at like end of year EBITDA just because like I like that number. But my big number that I've been focusing on since we hit the 8-figure mark is efficiency. Because I think a lot of people don't understand what efficiency will do to you. Efficiency is just like passive income to me in my head. I'm like, okay, guys, we're already doing roughly $800 to $1.4 million a month. I'm like, all right, so we shave off 20% efficiency. That is 20% savings that comes a month. Guys, that is $200,000 a month at $1 million plus, and if you can get it to a 34-year overall goal, I mean, you're at, let's say $11 million company, that is life-changing money, for a lot of people, and you're already doing the work. So why would you not want to look at efficiency? So efficiency for us is a big one that I look at just nonstop. I look at it way before gross revenue, gross profit, net profit, all that shit. I look at more of like, okay, I know that our numbers, where they're at revenue wise, but that efficiency means we're being better and better. At cost of goods sold, we're being better at running projects. We're shrinking build times from, let's say, 240 to that 160 to 180 mark, which is like really, then we can fit in 4 to 5 more projects in the same timelines. And that equates to, again, another $500,000 a year, this and that. I think just like your coach to same sense, your mindset is what will take you the full distance. Mm-hmm. Like I put out a post the other day of like, hey, short-term thinking is what'll kill every small business because it entangles in everything. How you run your financials, how you run your team, how you run your projects, how you run relationships, how you do everything is centered around what goal are you going for. And mostly people, and they're just like, I just want to be $1 million. I'm like, yeah, but just like you said, I've done it too. I've done fucking 8 million, 9 million a year and made zero fucking money. Mm-hmm. And I stood there, I'm like, fuck, man, we built 17 houses and I got nothing. These people got wonderful houses. I ain't got fucking shit. So, but you got to go through that. Yeah. There has to be that storm. Because what that does is it allows you to say, okay, enough was enough. I'm now here to play the game for real. And we understand that, hey, my fractional CFO is telling me you are not charging enough. Mm-hmm. You're right. I'm not. My books are showing me that too. And I had a meeting with our attorney this morning going over some stuff. They're helping us out with our West Virginia license and Maryland license and all that stuff. And he was like, dude, that's the reality to a lot of this, man, is people are not understanding that when you're at a certain point in your business, every decision needs to be made by data. They cannot be emotional anymore because they're going to be wrong.
I would say that point is like down here.
Yeah. Way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's way down there. Yeah. And that's, I think, the cool part about what you got kind of going on, dude, is like you're at a really good place for how far you've come in such a short amount of time. But also there's a secondary problem to that is I tell my team this. I'm like, guys, just because we've had some level of success doesn't mean the fucking game is over. Yeah. We've just started. Like, get real comfortable here because we're going to get ready to do some wild shit for a long time. Like, we're not in this pump and dump company stuff. We don't put on roofs. Like, our project timelines are 2 years from concept to warranty over. Like, we know these people for a long time. Like, very entangled here. Mm-hmm. So, like, get ready because we're going to be constantly making tweaks and refinements. And the way I always looked at it was like our first client should not have the same experience as our 56th client. Mm-hmm. But you should show love to your first client till the end of time. Because without those first core group of 1 to 2 year business people, you wouldn't have a year 3. Whether you made money or not. Mm-hmm. Like everybody that we've done work for early on, I will come back and fix your shit till the end of time. I don't give a fuck. Period. Zero. Ever. I owe you everything. Mm-hmm. And I don't think enough people understand that. That like at the end of the day, if those people didn't take a chance on you and you were small and had no fucking process together, had no systems, had no nothing, you wouldn't be sitting in year 3 and year 6 and year 7 and like saying, hey, now we're fucking cooking. You know, like I think there's so many people that just get lost over, you know, my warranty manager asked me that because we're setting parameters on like, hey, how much can you spend on warranty without having to get approval from the upper management? Or, hey, like when do we say no to somebody on warranty? And because his statement was, we've never said no ever. And I'm kind of like that, dude. Like I'm more along the lines of I look at it as like, hey, if you gave us a 5-star review, you paid us completely, you fulfilled your obligation to even further than you needed to with us. I need to extend that to you too. You know, now don't call me 10 years down the road, but like, again, like I love not turning my back on anyone that reaches out to us at all. But we also have QR codes that we're starting to put on magnets that show like, hey, scan the QR code to show how to fix your air filter and how to, you know, do some other shit like that. You know what I mean? Like there's normal wear and tear and stuff like that. But again, it's just how do you keep outlining and layering how much better your process is and how much you're going to keep going and how much you're going to do these things. So the way I always look at the national guys is like, hey, you guys are so national anymore that you can't change your business model. I'm going to do everything that you don't do and make you come play my game. Or I'm going to steal $20 million of your market share and you're going to say, fuck, Southwestern Pennsylvania makes no more sense. Just like Cahovanian. Bye. And then I'll buy your office. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I look at the game now and I'm like, okay, well, cool. There's how many people in our market, you know? What can we really do? Like what's top of market for us? I think top of market for us is somewhere around $15 to $17 million a year. And then the subsidiary markets would be just $5 million grabs a year. Nothing crazy or mind blowing. Go down and build a couple Deep Creek houses that are sick as fuck. You know, we already get a lot of organic following in Wheeling and Morgantown, so you got to listen to your people. I don't need to light the world on fire, but if you have a $17 or $15 million main market and you have some subsidiary markets doing $5 million, you have a $30 million company now. That could sell for 30, 40 million. You know, like that's the way I've always kind of looked at it. Not that I ever want to sell, but you should always build a business to sell. Yeah. Even if you don't want to. Because guess what? That's the ultimate goal of a business owner. Yep. You know? So I think, you know, the couple things that, you know, the pieces you're missing are the pieces you're working into. Yeah. I would love to have this conversation 2 years from now when you've got those pieces in place. You know, I think you're going to absolutely crush it in the sense of that. But so what are your future plans with the company? Since you're still a baby, you're still in infancy stage. You have so many things you can go. You have so many directions you can kind of, you know, you're still smaller. You can pivot. You can do this. You can do that. You know, you don't have a 20-person team. You don't have all these things yet, but you will at some point. Yeah, for sure. And then you get then the business turns like a barge. Yeah. Whereas like right now you're still kind of turning like a Porsche. Yeah. Which is fun. Yeah. Well, not if you're the engine. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I would say that the business, I don't know if I have a specific size in mind. I do, like you were talking about, I will have a design studio. Yeah. Probably more than one. Yeah. Because like exactly what your story is, I'm going to probably get something. It's going to be 3,000 square feet. I'm going to be like, there's no way I'm going to ever fill this up. And then in 6 months, I'll fill it up. 100%. So I want to have that. I want to have design staff on staff. Yeah. I want to be doing just only marketing. I want to take the sales hat off completely. Do you still do sales? I do it all. Yeah. Okay. All the sales and marketing side. Yeah. You have it outsourced, but you still manage it. I still manage it all. Okay. And I like doing that. Yeah. And then I think I want to find a way to start getting. I have visions of starting some kind of organization where I can bring other business owners into high schools and start talking to kids about there's other options. Yeah. Especially kids that might be in rougher situations. Like, hey, you know, you're not totally screwed if you don't go to college. No. I went to prison. Yeah, I have a bit of a checkered past myself. It's good. But you let me know when you want to go into them schools. I'm in. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Because honestly, I think that conversation was never had with me. Mm-mm. And no, I looked at the drug dealers instead. was like, you guys are way cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that I could make more money over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I wish somebody would have told me.
And you actually like can see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
Like I think this industry is great just because you actually physically see, like you put some time in and you're going to see, you're going to change somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know,
It could be for the bad though.
it could be, but
I always tell
hopefully
people
for the
that. I'm
good.
like, you got to understand the power of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, just like what you're doing. You're creating a first floor space that people are going to have and cultivate relationships and memories for the rest of their fucking life.
Yeah.
And that is a massive thing in someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be, there's no in between in construction. We're like, well, okay, ish. All right, it didn't go great. Just fucking say it. You know, and then there's the people that it went well for. And, you know, again, there's a lot of definitions and determinations for that. And no matter what, our role and responsibility is, hey guys, you're giving us the responsibility to earn your trust to do this giant project for you. Now, you're not gifting me $100,000. Like, I love when people say that, like, I paid you $100,000. I gave you a fucking ridiculously nice project. You didn't just give me a bag full of $100,000.
Yeah,
I would look at this very differently. I would look at the relationship very differently if you did.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, when you have a company like yours that, you know, really does the right thing and does that type of stuff, like there's a responsibility with that, man. And that gets heavy because just like you and me, we have to do some work on some scale. And you have to fucking hit home runs every single fucking time.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's a concern of mine, honestly, is like getting enough people that I can trust to keep that kind of mindset with customers as we go.
Yeah. The nice part is like for you, like what's cool about being a business owner is you get to pick and choose the game you want to play.
Yeah.
So like you like the marketing end of it. So cool. That's a seat you should sit in. Like, and then hire around it. Office manager, admin, selections coordinator, designer, you know, sales team, you know, like you're really close to that cusp too of like, that's the weird part about remodeling. So I never was big enough to be able to even bring on a sales guy because it didn't make sense, right? Because you're like, all right, well, you're going to pay him, let's just say 8% and give him a small salary or however you want to structure it, yada, yada. I was like, fuck, man, he only makes like $100,000 a year. I was like, that's not that fucking appealing. You know, like it's a lot of work to do remodeling, you know, all that time, energy, and effort for like $80,000 a year. I was like, But like you start cusping into that $4 to $5 million range, dude, you're well big enough to afford like a fucking really good salesperson.
Yeah. And we're going to start steering things as we go here too, to where we're probably going to have like a minimum job size. We'll take 2 for a number of different reasons, but efficiency, like you were talking about too.
Getting very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. On where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, you're like really on the cusp of like the remodel, because that's where like those business gets stuck in purgatory. I always call it like 2.5, dude, is like, and then usually when people go to 4, the wheels fall off because they can't handle the fucking size of projects and know how to manage the client. So like managing the client, because here's the real reality. Interior remodeling is intimate as fuck.
Yeah.
Intimate. Like Billy might get into a fight with Susan last night. You show up at 7 a.m. and they ain't talking. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Cut the tension with a fucking knife. Like, okay, Billy, I can see you're upset today. I'm not going to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the tough part about interior remodeling.
Yeah.
You know, like, you have to deal with and be able to manage that process, because a $1.1 million renovation is not going to happen in 6 months. A $1.1 million renovation is probably going to be a year.
Yeah.
And you have to manage that person for a year. And then you have warranty for a year. Like, it's the same game I play. So, like, you better have a process in place and a pass off and these checkered lines of where the next person steps in and how you do. Dude, we hired a sales and construction concierge who just talks to the person from the beginning all the way to the end. And then it passes that torch to, like, the warranty side, you know, and that pass off is now we're ironing that out and how that looks and their warranty packets and all these things of just like, you know, their closing gifts and this and that. It just becomes a layered thing. I mean, because when you're spending, somebody's spending that kind of amount of money, like they need to get some nice pampered at the end on some closing gifts and some other things of that nature. That's just the level you're at now.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I mean, it's interesting because you're at a very cool point of like, what way do you go? you know, because you're like right in that cusp of like the next time of growth. You're in the middle of all of it. You know, you're going to have the ability to do anything you want and bring on any staff members you want and all that type of stuff and still have a good, you know, margins to make a great living and put out great product, you know. And that's kind of the cool thing of like, you know, I like talking to people like are in that. I remember year 3, like it was fun, dude. Like year 3 to 5 was fun, dude, because we just came out of the bullshit just like how you are. And you're like, and I'm sure you're making some money this year. Cool. It feels good, right?
Yeah.
Because you ate shit.
Put it all back in, but
But that's how that goes, though.
Yeah.
That's a smart business owner.
Yeah.
But just knowing that you made money to actually put back in,
Right.
and it's not your money coming out of your 401k or all the money that you slaved for, you know, and really set aside. Because, dude, here's the reality of it. Most people don't have the discipline. That's the real reality of it. They're not meant to wake up and see a bunch of money in their bank account. They don't know how to control themselves.
Nope.
You know, and that's the thing about business. You cannot fuck it off. And, you know, me and my partners set parameters. We don't take any bonuses unless we hit X things each quarter. No bonus. There needs to be X amount in your operating account, cannot go below that. Has to go up above this. These 4 things have to happen or there's no bonus check. Sorry. No ifs, ands, or buts. Q1 didn't make it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Not sorry. We're not breaking our rules.
Right.
Clients and future comes first. Other than that, dude, like money will always come. Money is a byproduct of doing good work. I think a lot of people get caught up and they're just like, hurry up. And, you know, we're going to squeeze ARs and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. I'm like, well, you should just focus on doing great work and have a great experience for your people. Because that's what's going to last for a long time. You know, one thing that I've learned from, you know, my buddies at Penrod and them, they are celebrating 50 years. And I'm like, dude, you know, he looks at me and he's like, dude, you're crushing me at everything. I'm like, no, dude, you're crushing me because you're a legacy.
Yeah.
I'm just a fucking brand right now. Like, I didn't last 50 years. Like, what are you out of your mind? I don't even know if I'm going to be around 50 fucking years, you know? Like, and it looks to me on like, and I talked to Jack, who started the company. I had a great conversation with him this weekend. We were talking about just like, again, the mindset. How did you get to that far? What hurdles did you hit, man? Like, what thinking were you going through in certain aspects? Like, how did you shift? How'd you move? You know, and I think that's the prime part about going back to the coaching and stuff too, is like, you know, being open with people and, you know, business owners, a lot of us don't like to ask for help. I do. I have a trusted circle. Hey, I went and bought a house in Florida this year. I turned it into an Airbnb. So who did I call? A buddy of mine does a bunch of Airbnbs. Hey man, you need to do this, 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 and this and make it real sick looking. Okay, cool. Did exactly that. It's worked out great. You know what I mean? Like, we need to really put our egos and clout aside. Because real estate and construction gets full of fucking dudes that want to flex and full of like fake numbers and like a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's not what it's about. Especially now with social media, we all just like put out the good shit. We don't want to talk about the bad shit. The bad shit is most companies don't make a fucking dollar for the first 4 years. That's the reality of it. You make no fucking money. You eat shit, and then you figure out all your problems, and you hire. And if you're smart, you're hiring around all the shit you don't like to do.
Or you give up.
Or you give the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I look at, you know, I go to family events, and I hear family that's like, I hate my job. Oh, fucking this. I'm fucking sick days. I'm like, dude, I wake up every day super fucking pumped.
Yeah.
I think if you're in a position and we're in a position you're doing something you love and you wake up every day energized, we are the fucking winners of the ultimate winners.
Yep.
You know, like I had a buddy of mine, he came over on Saturday, we were just talking strategy. He owns a bunch of rental properties. And he's like, dude, I think I just need to offload these to these. And like, I was like, yeah, dude, because you're in D assets, like take your money back and go over and move some shit into some B's and A's, you know what I mean? Or take your money back and go put it in stocks at 19%, you know what I mean? Like, there's a million ways to make money out here, you know? Construction is a really cool thing because it fuses into so many different things. Like, if you want to go into real estate, you can. You want to go into this, you can. You want to go into that, you can, you know? There's just, you want to go knock out a side roof for $5,000, you can do that and go pay for a vacation. Like, that's the cool thing about construction. It opens up so many doors and it molds together in so many other little different facets of like, you know, I think for us and especially you and me, cause we're younger, like I looked at it too. I was like, there's nobody really running the game with integrity.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for us, just the way construction's looked at is we're looked at worse than used car salesmen.
Yep.
because this guy robbed you for the 33% payment he thought he took. I'm like, listen. Even for remodeling, I never even took a deposit for 5 years. Because the way I looked at it is if I take your money, I'm like stuck to you. Like if you want to back out, back out. But I also never like booking a 2-year waiting list either.
No. And people that hang their hat on that never really made a lot of sense to me, honestly. Yeah. I don't get that. Yeah. But because why would you sign up for something from 2 years from now?
Yeah. What if COVID happens again?
Yeah.
You're just going to cancel.
Yeah.
Like what? That person's been waiting for a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like
that's a whole nother thing. But yeah. Yeah. And to your point too, is the integrity piece. Like I was raised in this industry by people that taught me a lot of skills, but the thing that a lot of them had in common is that they thought that a job is a one-time transaction. Like you get them for all they got, and I don't care if I ever talk to them again. And that's a repeated theme that I saw with many different people.
It's the merry-go-round of construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I didn't grow up here in Pittsburgh, but I've lived here long enough to know that it's not that big of a city.
No, we're small as fuck.
People like know a lot more. Like everybody knows each other a lot more than you would think.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I mean,
especially in the industry.
That too.
Like I had that discussion with our team. I was like, guys, we're kind of big in the industry, but we're very small to the public.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, I think there's a place for guys like us because the guys that did it the right way are all starting to fall out. And there needs to be a level of people that run the business and do it correctly. And okay, construction is one-time transaction. Sometimes. What I mean by that is you sell a job, you're out of a job. That's the only reason why it's a it's a one-time transaction.
Right.
That's the only thing. But that's a short-term thinker's mentality to think the job dies there. Like I was listening to an Ed Milet conversation with Alex Hormozy, and it was I was rewatching a podcast from a year ago. And he said, it's so funny to me that clients think that a transaction is over when the contract is signed. That's when it starts. Because you just earned the opportunity to do the work.
Yeah.
So all the work you did before that didn't matter. Whole new round of work coming here, you know. And the cool thing about where you're at now is when you say that 90% of our stuff is referral based this month, that brings your cost of leads way down.
Yeah.
Because you're offsetting the cost of what you're putting out.
Right.
Now, if everything was, you know, because we built it up to an $8 million company before we even did any paid ads. We were solely organic all the way up until that point. And again, we were not when we started getting into the higher brackets of builds, that's whenever the game really started changing. You know, and I understand why some of these guys want to go to these higher end builds and things of that nature and stuff like that. But we looked at it and I was like, okay, like those guys are doing 3-4 builds a year and they're just like a one-man team. I'm like, all right, cool. Do I want that? No. What do I really want? Yeah, well, I kind of want to be involved just in this, you know, like I like going to the departments and playing Rubik's Cube. Like, let me fix the problems. Let me go in there and really figure out the best way to solve these problems and do that. Like, that's what I love to play, you know, and that's where I'm at now. And it's the same as you. Like, you should look at what you love to do because this will keep you playing the game forever.
Right.
Forever. It doesn't matter what problems you're having. Because, dude, we got 4 inches of fucking rain on Saturday in Washington, and I got some fucking problems. You know what I mean? I got a footer drain that got clogged from the guys that built this enormous wall, and it's backing up, and it backed up and flooded inside the main line of the house, which is 3 feet up the foundation. So imagine how much water. Crazy amounts of water, dude. So, I mean, dude, there's things that are going to happen. And again, like, I think nobody loves talking about what bad happens.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of it, man. Like, when you do projects in volume, you're going to have fires.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put them out. So, like, you know, for me, it's always just been the long-term vision of, like, guys, we should take care of almost everybody. You know, we don't need, like, even our marketing companies that come in. I'm like, guys, I need 35 clients a year. That's all I need. That's 2.5 clients a month. Like, I'm not asking for the fucking world here. Like, I get we're very niche. So are you. That's what I said. Like, being very clear on what my client avatar is and the clients I want and the projects I want is getting me to that era. Like, when I'm scatterbrained, I'm doing nobody any good.
Yep.
You know, and it's just for us of like, I'm like, guys, every project is a pain in the ass. You might as well pick the ones you really want to do.
Right.
So like
with the people you want to work with.
With the people you want to work with.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. I mean, I really love hearing the story of, you know, what your future plans are. And your growth is great, dude. You know, Al kind of verified that. He's like, dude, you grew up big business quick. And I was like, how big? It's a big number, man. You should be proud at your age and where you came from and all the stuff that you've done so far and the discipline. But what I want to give you, and I usually give people their flowers in the beginning, but I'm going to give yours at the end now that I kind of heard your story. What you were able to do and the success that you've had led from the discipline you had of saving money in the beginning. When did you start saving that money? Late 20s, mid 20s?
Yeah, late 20s, yeah. I'd say.
There's a very small percentage of you that have that discipline. That's led to the success at 34.
Yeah.
And now that'll lead to your success at 44 and 40, 38 and all the other shit. I'm 38. I would love to hear a story in 4 years, dude, because you're going to be doing exactly what you should be doing. You should be super proud, man. You had the discipline enough to allocate your funds accordingly, use the money the right way, not on dumb shit and spending it on fucking, you know, every dumbass thing out there for clout and allure and this and that. You spend on real business stuff. You made real business moves. You're reinvesting in your business. That's why you're able to get to where you're at so fast. It's not an accident, dude. This was all planned, and you had this planned a long time ago. And you just were willing to put the action into it, dude. And you should be super proud of yourself, man, because interior remodeling is very fucking hard.
Yeah.
Very hard. Well, dude, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for sharing some of your time with me. I love hearing the story, dude. I'm going to be watching closely now. And you let me know when you want to go into some of them schools and do some of this stuff. I am 100% on board on doing some of that stuff with you. You always have me as a open access to of any questions, anything you need. I have the same relationship with Al. I'll definitely have the same relationship with you. Anything you need, let me know. But yeah, man, you should be proud of yourself, dude. You're growing something that's going to be really, really powerful down the road, man. And you know, that we'll end. And dude, I really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
God, man.
Appreciate your time.
Yep.